I cannot wait to watch the Atlanta Falcons this fall. They've got an unproven quarterback, Desmond Ridder. That right off the bat to me is like, ding, 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 interesting. Can't wait to see this unproven quarterback. What can Desmond Ridder do? I don't know. But also on top of that, their offense is so fascinating. They've got these two big receiving threats, Drake London at receiver, Kyle Pitts at tight end, guys who are big and physical and can go get the ball. You've got three running backs, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, and Cordarrelle Patterson. Bijan Robinson and Cordarrelle Patterson can literally line up anywhere on the field, but mostly they're going to line up at running back or receiver. And I guess I don't know where else they would line up. I don't imagine, Bijan Robinson playing any quarterback this year. Although, hey, I'm all for it. If they want to put a wildcat setup with Bijan Robinson and Cordarrelle Patterson next to each other, taking direct snaps, I am all for that. That sounds amazing to me. It's really a shame Bijan Robinson can't throw the ball because him throwing would be so interesting. I mean, throwing the ball deep to like Drake London, throwing jump balls, that'd be awesome. Atlanta's got a really good offensive line, which is great for their young quarterback, Desmond Ridder. I think that as a young quarterback, this system is probably going to be close to perfect for any young guy who, I don't know what the ceiling is for Desmond Ridder. I think he's safe. I think he takes care of the football. He's accurate. He's just not super talented, right? He's never going to look like Patrick Mahomes and make diving throws or throw back across the field or launch a throw into a really tight window, 60 yards downfield. Desmond Ridder is, I think, physically limited. However, he's a good decision maker. He's accurate. And having a team where they've got this unique old school offense where they're built around running the football. You don't see that a lot in today's NFL. Having a great running game, having a great offensive line, having two receivers that are possession receivers who can go snatch the ball if you're a little bit inaccurate. All of these things are really going to help Desmond Ridder. Now, I feel good about him because they're not going to ask him to do too much. I think the minute they're down by a lot or the minute if anything happens, I mean, gosh, in moments last year where Atlanta was down, they still ran the football. That's their offense. They're not going to be able to make big comebacks and stuff. I just don't expect that from them. But I just find their offense so fascinating. And then the upside is, hey, what if Desmond Ridder's better than we think? I don't know that he's physically very good, but we've seen Dak Prescott do big stuff, and Dak Prescott physically isn't the most gifted quarterback either. Desmond Ridder can run the zone read. He's safe. He's somewhere, I think, around what Alex Smith did, the high-end version of Alex Smith, the good years in Kansas City, is maybe what Desmond Ridder can become. That's not a bad quarterback. And so I just find the Falcons' offense really, really fascinating. Now, Atlanta made a lot of moves to improve their football team this offseason. They added a lot of players, some talented, some are questionable, but we'll see what happens. I don't want to write all of them off simply because, or I don't want to immediately assume they're all better just because they're new. But here are the players that Atlanta added, mostly on defense to try to fix their defense. But, I mean, they added talent everywhere. They traded for corner Jeff Okudah. Jeff Okudah got hurt early in camp, but he will be back early in the year. They added safety Jesse Bates from Cincinnati. They added a defensive tackle, David Onyemata, and a defensive end, Calais Campbell. They traded for tight end Jonnu Smith. That's a guy who reconnected with Arthur Smith after working with him years ago in Tennessee. They added two linebackers, Caden Ellis and Bud Dupree. I mean, Atlanta made a lot of moves this offseason trying to improve their football team. And I love that. I love a team aggressively spending money, bringing guys in, trying to make a change. I mean, what's that saying that, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results? I really like that Atlanta said, we're going to shake things up. We're going to bring in different players. We're going to make changes here and there. I'm not sure they're all going to work. I think one question in Atlanta is, can they get pressure on opposing quarterbacks? I'm not sure, but they're definitely trying. They're trying to improve their defensive line, and the potential on their defensive line, and really on both sides of the football, their offensive line and their defensive line have potential to be really good. And if they are, that's a game changer. Now, I have Atlanta going 8-9 this year, falling just behind New Orleans and Carolina. Just because you add new players doesn't guarantee they're going to be good or the right move. I think there's a lot of question marks. How good is Desmond Ridder? How much does it matter given the run-first offense? Maybe it doesn't matter how good Desmond Ridder is. Maybe they don't ask him to do very much and they win anyway. However, I want to be clear about something. It feels like there's such a wide range of possibilities for Atlanta. If their offense and defensive line are as good as their potential is, they're going to be tough to beat because they're just going to stay in football games. They are going to run the ball well. They're going to stop the run. And if they can get pressure on opposing quarterbacks, that's a big deal. I mean, the way you beat quarterbacks is making them uncomfortable. And so I want to be honest here. 8-9 is a really conservative prediction for Atlanta. I'm really excited to watch this team because it feels like a science experiment. What's going to happen with all these running backs and all these multiple players who can kind of play everywhere? To me, the NFC South is up for grabs. I have Atlanta going 8-9, but 8 wins could very easily become 9 or 10. And I think a 10-win season will win the NFC South this fall. So Atlanta's going to be right in the mix. They are a team that has a shot to win the division. I have them at 8-9, coming up third behind New Orleans and Carolina. But man, I mean, a thing goes right here or there, a small decision there, a drop pass here, a missed field goal there, and they win their division. I mean, these 3 teams are really, really neck and neck. And just because I have Atlanta coming up 8-9 in my predictions doesn't mean, I just think this division is going to be really close, and I give Atlanta a fair shot. I've seen Derek Carr a lot. I know how much talent is there. I've seen Bryce Young play a lot. I really believe in him. I don't know what to make of Desmond Ridder. I'm not quite sure what to expect from this offense. The defensive line is a question mark that has potential, but I'm not sure. So the unknowns made me nervous about predicting Atlanta to win their division, but they certainly have a shot. And again, I think the word is science experiment. I can't wait to see what happens in Atlanta. I've given them, I hopefully a fair shot here, and I really, really can't wait to watch this football team this fall.